Hello and welcome once again to Mathghamhain Morsels. This will be episode 39 of it, and again it's going to be in the A Sanguine Start series on this channel. And today we're going to be making a dish that doesn't really have a proper nomenclature, so I'm just going to call it Potatoes Sanguine. And this is a very simple dish. It starts with onion and potato. You can chop up the potato however you want, either in rings or matchstick, however you like, but you want it fairly thin. The shape doesn't matter. And you want to slice up some onion, again, nice and thin. So I've already done that. I've already prepped my potato and I've already prepped my onion. And I have my glass baking sheet right here. So the first step, let me quickly grab a paper towel. So the first step is I want to slightly grease this glass baking sheet. I'm just going to use butter, because butter is going to be one of the key ingredients. This is, again, one of those recipes that do not make this an everyday or an every week meal, but when you want something sinful and just delightful, go for this. This is a fantastic way of doing potatoes. So, I'm going to throw in a layer of my matchstick, and I have a couple sliced potatoes in here as well. Potatoes. Throw those down. You want to get a good base layer to this. Now on that, you're going to want to throw some cheese. I mix it, let's actually add some of the garlic mix that I have. This is just my normal garlics, the black garlic, the white garlic, the smoked garlic, and the roasted garlic. If you don't have some of these, it works with just white garlic. It works with any garlics that you have available. So let's add some of that garlic mix. Now let's add the cheese. And I have shredded cheddar cheese that I shredded myself. It's a couple different types of smoked cheddar, a applewood, an oak, and hickory are the three types of smoked cheddar. So you want to lay out a layer of that. Throw some butter down on top of this. And like I said, this is a lot of butter going into this dish, so you are forewarned. Let's get two nice big pads of butter into here. And then in goes another layer of potato and onion. I'm just going to kind of press it down. This is kind of like a weird variant of lasagna layer or something like that. Only potato and onion instead of lasagna, and cheddar cheese instead of the normal ricotta and various other cheese blends. And it doesn't have a sauce. So this isn't quite scalloped, this isn't quite au gratin, this isn't quite any of the standard nomenclature potato dishes. This is just my own creation. I came up with it in high school. It is ridiculous, and like I said, not something you eat every week. This is a couple times a year type dish, just because of how sinful this is. And I'm making just one tray of this, or one baking dish of this. But you can scale it up, you can scale it down. In order to make this, I'm probably not going to use all of the potato and onion that I have, which was just one good-sized russet potato and one small sweet onion. Let's add another couple pads of butter, and I might be able to squeeze one more layer on, kind of. It's going to be a cheat of a squeezed on layer, but I'll probably be able to fit a bit more. So again, the potato and onion. Throw that on, and I'm going to kind of squeeze it down, try to fit more of this on than I really can in this baking sheet, but that's part of this dish. I've always had trouble determining how much potato and onion I need to fill a baking dish. Again, you want to get a fairly covering layer of that potato and onion mixture. Then that garlic blend. And I'm using salted butter, and also one of the garlics that I'm using has some salt mixed in with it to add that needed bit of saltiness. That will just finish out the dish beautifully. Get more of the cheddar cheese. Again, kind of press this down. I am going to have a sheet underneath this as this bakes, so that it doesn't just ooze cheese into the bottom of my oven. Though this will be an ooey, gooey, delicious mess when it's out. If you want to add a bit more texture to this, you can add some breadcrumbs on top. I've done that a couple times. Most of the time I don't bother. I just go for this how it is, ending with that cheese, and we'll throw on another pat or two of butter. There's one pat of butter. There's another pat of butter. Get some of that butter relocated down towards the base of this. And there we go. This is going to go into a 350 to 400 degree oven and just allowed to bake down. The bottom will get a little bit crispy, so will the sides. The cheese will just melt in to the potato and onion layers. It becomes ridiculous and sinful, and those garlic flavors just permeate the entire dish. But I will be back with you once this comes out of the oven. And you want to cook it until the potato's done all the way through. Since it's shoestring or thinly sliced, it's not very long. And until the cheese is all melty and bubbly goodness. You can cook it until it gets some color if you really want to. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so here we are back at my desk with a serving of potatoes sanguine. The cheese melted throughout, got a nice crust on top. The potato and onion are done all the way through. Oh, ah. It is very hot because it just came out of the oven a moment ago. When it comes out, all the fat kind of rises to the surface of it. All the oils from the cheese and the butter that we put in, but it flavored everything, so it is delicious. Just when you're scooping it out, use a slotted spoon or a slotted spatula, something like that. To let the excess fat drip off. So, this is just absolutely delicious. It's garlicky, cheesy potato goodness with a nice bit of onion. So, who the hell doesn't like that? And like I said, nice crust to it, so it's just a bit too thick to cut through with the side of my fork. I need to actually bring in a knife. But yeah, just look at that beautiful caramelization on that cheese. Absolutely sinful, that. So, on the side, all I have here is a simple skirt steak with a bit of a pan sauce, which is also absolutely delicious. Probably not the next episode, but the episode after that, I'll show you guys how to make one of the other mother sauces that this pan sauce is kind of based off of. But that will be in another video, and you have that to look forward to. Again, just absolutely beautiful color on that cheese. The way to tell when you're cooking this, if it's done all the way through, is get a fork or a knife and just stab down into it. If there's not resistance, it's done. If there's a fair bit of resistance, you just need to let it cook up for a bit longer. But it will cook up beautifully. It will be perfectly fine as you let it bubble. So don't worry about that. Just test it with a knife, or like I said, a fork. So that's Potatoes Sanguine. Absolutely delicious. Really simple to make. But just decadent, indulgent deliciousness. So with that, let me leave you guys off with my normal command advice, however you want to look at it. Try new foods. Try different combinations. Try old combinations done up different. Like I said, this is very similar to a lot of potato dishes, but it doesn't have any real nomenclature. I came up with this in high school, and it is amazing. So with that, have a good one all.